Yeah, so what is the cause of the most modern day problems? What is one of the main factors for innovation? What is the future? The answer to all of these questions is brief and simple: energy. Energy is required for almost everything we do: cooking, driving, also cleaning, and growing, of course. Since the discovery of fire, humans have been able to control and use energy for their own purposes. And right now, the development of a renewable, reliable, and highly efficient source of energy is required if you want to have a future on this planet. Right now, 85% of worldwide energy is generated by non-renewable sources of energy. Most of these sources are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. And they release huge amounts of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, which contribute to the global warming that is happening and cannot be denied. According to NOAA's 2020 annual climate report, the global average temperature has increased by 0.18 degrees Celsius since 1981. Here's a graph of the average temperature around the world since 1880. According to NASA, a 2 degree Celsius increase would cause a rise of about 0.2 meters in over 70% of coastline regions. And NASA reports that it would cause an increased coastal flooding, beach erosion, salinization of water resources, and threats to humanity. This clearly shows the threats that the use of non-renewable resources poses to our future. Our goal with this project is to reduce the usage of non-renewable resources at the American Overseas School of Rome. To do this, we plan on introducing the usage of photovoltaic-generated energy. Since more than 75% of Italy's energy consumption is derived by petroleum and natural gas, our project aims to decentralize the energy consumption from external providers and to create a system of photovoltaic panels around the school to provide internally for electrical energy. The goal of providing a sustainable source of energy for a school can be achieved most efficiently and most rapidly through the use of electrical energy. We can use solar panels to capture an infinitely small percentage of the solar energy that gets released from our sun, which is significant on a small planet like ours. It would take a surface area of about 115,000 square miles, or about 44% of Texas, to power the entire world with solar panels. And as seen in the image, it would only take up a small percentage of the Sahara Desert. There's a lot of companies around the world that are trying to implement significantly the use of solar energy, such as Genco Solar Holding, Canadian Solar, and First Solar Inc. But they're still far from reaching a major impact around the world through solar energy. Our goal is to implement the most efficient and cost-effective solar panel solution inside our school. And the most common photovoltaic system is a 3 kilowatt system. It requires around 70 meters squared of space and can produce around 2,500 kilowatt hours per year. In Italy, this kind of solar system can cost anywhere between 7,000 and 10,000 euros. The positive aspect, apart from the guilt-free thought of using renewable source of energy, is that the savings you can make can reach 90% of costs after a payback time around 5 to 7 years. This means that using these systems can become profitable after only 5 years. In that time, you will be able to save almost 90% of your earlier spendings on energy. After the 7th year, the average annual financial return is around 12%, and the average annual profit, according to Idealista, is around 893 euros per system. Before diving into the details of our project designed for our school, we have to understand how the engineering behind the solar energy. So as you can see in the image, the sunlight hits the panel on an anti-reflective coating where the silicon particles absorb the electrons and the photons, and that creates a direct current. Then it's converted into alternating current that can be used as electrical energy as we use it in our world. And of course, it's more complicated than this brief explanation, but I guess you get the point. And the science behind this type of energy is fascinating, and it can really revolutionize the future. So for our school, we have chosen to create a photovoltaic system made up of several 3 kilowatt systems, since they're smaller and can be arranged much more easily around the environment. We believe that to start, we could use 6 3 kilowatt systems around the school, as shown in the image by the green squares, and they're facing a direction south, which is needed in the northern hemisphere. Of course, initially it would be 6 systems, but we could also add more. Right now, this total system would cost around 42,000 euros, but if the investment would be larger, we could also implement them on the elementary roofs facing southeast. Of course, all of these costs aren't considering the super bonus in Italy of 110% provided by the government, which would decrease the cost overall. This system would produce almost 30,000 kilowatt hours per year, which is a large portion of the energy usage at USR, but still wouldn't make up for the entire electricity we use. But still, considering the price per kilowatt hour in Italy of 0.22 euros, the school could save almost 6,600 euros from electrical bills every year, and they would start making profit in only 6 years after breaking even from the initial costs. Of course, to maximize the profits and shorten times to break even, the project could be scaled to a larger proportion, but of course that depends on the investment that the school is willing to make on this project. So we really hope that with this project our school will be more sustainable, and that a large portion of the energy used for a school in the future will be increasingly derived from renewable resources. Thank you.